Please continue to hold, and we'll be with you shortly.
Thank you for holding. How can I be of service to you today?
Yes, I have this recurring charge on my monthly statement, and I can't figure out what it's for.
Well, we'll certainly do our best to help you. What does the charge say on your statement?
Well, it's a $275 charge, and it just says Iraq War.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. The Iraq War cost the average American family over $16,000 since the war started.
Are you kidding? Well, I never signed up for that.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You don't sign up for the Iraq War charge.
Tell me, have you enjoyed your war so far?
It's a standard charge for all Americans.
Have you gotten a picture of who they are?
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It's a man in a cave, knock down your tower.
While you're still in line, can I interest you in our new monthly Iraq War charge?
No,
Are you gonna behave or lay next to flowers?
Thanks for calling the United States.
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's after 8, you're late, get out of bed. Fuck what a spectator said. Scientific dictatorship straight ahead. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's after 8, you're late, get out of bed. This is a bucket of water on your head, you're asleep. You might as well be dead.
The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Welcome to the Red Pill Show. Original show. And now, here's your host and creator for New Alternative Media via podcast.
In live streaming. Welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show, comrade. Today is Wiener Tuesday. Oh, yes, it is. I just can't wait till my boyfriend comes home tonight from work and we just celebrate Wiener Tuesday. It's so delicious. Oh, yes, I love the cream-filled wieners. Oh, I just can't wait. Anyway, welcome to another exciting episode of the original Red Pill Show. Today is Tuesday, right? Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. This show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please use at your own risk. Show is copyrighted by me and Freedom Revolution Network. No part of this show can be reused, rebroadcasted in any way, shape, or form.
without our written consent, or you can just ask. I don't know why you'd want to. Anyway, finally, let's see. This show's opinionated. The host, which is me, callers, guests, people that are naughty in the chat room, whatever, are and always will be opinionated under no circumstances whatsoever. Should opinions be taken as advice? If you are seeking advice, strongly encourage you to hire a license if required person in his or her field there, old timey. Hey, man. No, that's his name, broadcasting live from the wonderful state of Colorado, where the mountains are everywhere, and a perfect target for Putin, which I might get into in a minute or not. I don't know. So I titled this episode to Wiener Tuesday. I really have nothing to talk about. I actually was like, okay, I want to do a show because I want to do a show. But I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And sometimes I have, well, I want to bring this up, but literally I just don't. Probably because there's just so many. Everybody's losing their shit, aren't they? It's like, oh my God, there's a, what would the word be? Marauder. There's just like, you could just put a piece of paper on the wall with all the shit that's going on right now and throw a dart at it, and you'd have plenty to talk about. But I don't know exactly what to talk about, but I usually talk about me. Okay. I don't know if I explained this before, Lucy. The only reason I bring up me is for you to relate. If anybody has had the experience of Alcoholics Anonymous or any type of self-support group, sorry, I'm adjusting my mic, one time or 1,000 times or whatever, you all get together to share your shit so people can relate to you and go, oh, well, I'm not the only one that, has whatever problems I have. And that's why I do that. So some will perceive it as narcissistic, even to the extreme of racist, misogynist. What you can go ahead and throw your labels at me all you want, because that is nothing that is further from the truth. So judge away, say what you want. God forbid you stand in front of the fucking mirror and go, how can I work on that person standing in the mirror? Instead of listening to this show and other shows or whatever, and just, take somebody else's inventory and bitch at them or whatever. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Okay, man, you know what? Nothing's ever going to get resolved with that. But we're not going to fix the planet, are we? We can barely fix us, correct? I would suggest you, and advice to myself, focus on yourself, because you sure shit ain't going to change anybody else but you, okay? So there's the whole show in itself. Does everything sound okay? Because it sounds, I don't know, it sounds kind of different in my headphones. Although I need a new set of headphones. I don't know if I'm overmodulating. I don't know. Let me know if it sounds like shit or not, because I can't stand a bad quality show audit. Well, material wise too, but audio wise, I can't stand that. So please tell me if it sounds. Hey, what? Nomics. Hey, Tim, about to get off from work. Hopefully you will be on. Sound is fine here. Thanks, Total Vagabond. So let me tell you something. So you're in Ireland, right? Total. I met a guy in the gym, and he had a army hat, and he's probably, fuck, I don't know. He went into the military. He moved here from Ireland, joined the army in his youth, like in 1968 or something. So he was sharing this story. Maybe you'll know this or not. Now, forgive me. I'm just a stupid fucking American. Never been to Ireland. I don't know. So I might misspeak, or you'll be like, what are you talking about? But he brought up, he loved to go to this place. And when he was here in the States, somebody asked him where he wanted to go. And it reminded him of, he called it the Valley of the something. And I wish I could remember. If I see him again, I'll ask him. It was the Valley of the something. I don't know if that helps. I don't know. But he just kept saying it was green and beautiful and just amazing. And he just always loved to go there, which I thought was kind of cool. But I didn't know he was Irish until, the guy's got to be, let's see, what am I saying? I don't know, around 70 maybe. But I didn't pick up his accent until he started talking more. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear the Irish accent. So it was pretty cool. But it was, I don't know, you're not saying nothing. So I don't think you know what I'm talking about. And of course, Ireland's probably huge and specific to the territory that he came from, the rebel county. Yeah, but he called it the Valley of the something. Maybe I don't know. I'll find out again, because I'll run into him. So anyway, I just thought that to be amazing, because me and that gentleman and another gentleman were talking about how it's green. Yeah, it's green. It's green. I don't know. Trees. I know it doesn't help. And of course, I didn't have a piece of paper or pen to write it down, because I was in the locker room in the gym, and I just put my workout crap on, and I just saw his hat. So I love talking to older people, and I love talking to veterans. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting conversation, but that's what stuck out with me. But I will try to get some more information to bring it up to be more specific. Lots of hills, farms, and forests. You know what? I want to go there. Oh, because he shared with me his brother joined the army coming from here. And the army promised to deploy or station him in Ireland. Well, little did he know at that time, I don't know if it's true or not now, because we're taking over the entire fucking planet, there was no military bases in Ireland at that time. So they fucking lied to him. And then they shoved him into South Korea, which that's where my son was deployed to. And I've been to South Korea. And I just got that crazy little fucker launching missiles again. So I don't know, man. Yesterday was really a weird, actually the past couple of weeks has been chaotic. I don't know about for you guys. And all I'm trying to do is stabilize. But I guess if you're a horoscope astrology person, it's like Mercury was in retrograde or some shit like that. I don't know, which just causes a lot of conflict in this and that. And whether you believe in that or not, it's been a pretty pretty fucked up. I'll say damn near a month if I have to put a time frame on it. And there's some things going on with me. I'm moving again. This will be the 12th fucking time since 2016. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick of it. I also, and don't do what I do. Please don't. I just resigned from my job last Friday. But the only reason is I'm not making it due to inflation, which is transitory. Mm-hmm. I know better. And I have to be respectful and sometimes play down things because I don't want people, especially who I work for, I just don't want them thinking that I know better than them and this and that and all that crap. I don't want that coming across that just out of respect. Because when you start talking to people that own companies and you start bringing that stuff up, in my experience, it's like you're trying to tell somebody how to raise their kid. And that conversation never goes well, ever. But in both instances of running a business and raising my kids to the age of 18, I think I got a pretty good track record. I can't be held accountable for their actions after 18, and I can't be held accountable for other people's actions in my business and at the time my significant other. And I don't want to go down that road. But if you or me as an employee and you just start, time to get up, I'm up. This is just my perspective experience. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. It's me. It's my life. So once again, if it resonates with people, great. If it don't, then it don't. It's, whatever. I just truly believe a lot of people are going through a lot of shit. And one thing that I won't accept ever is disrespect. I just won't. I won't do that. I have zero tolerance for that. And I try not to disrespect other people either. It's a two-way street. But I'm going to tell you something about inflation, all right? And it's not going to be a rant. It's not going to be too long. Employees are a victim or a prisoner of inflation. There's nothing they can do. Okay. Again, businesses, the government, whatever. How come it seems to me that when things are tough or this or that or whatever, the government, the elites, and all the way down the food chain to us peasants, the peasants are the ones, even back in the days of king and queens and monarchies. I mean, dictatorships are obvious because if the people up top are hurting, they just take it from the people that have it because they can, because they're assholes. But in our system, whatever that is right now, supposedly a republic, how come the people at the bottom are the ones that are in the pain and the suffering? And I thought about that. And if you owe, let's just say you owe the government in back taxes, or you just owe them for some reason. Oh, well, you had a hard time. You know, they act like you did it on purpose. Or like, oh, fuck you guys, ain't going to pay you. Oh, really? What is that going to do? How are you going to benefit as a peasant not paying the king his bag of gold? You're not. So, well, you're not paying your fair share, and you didn't pay your fair share. How dare you? So we're going to throw penalties and interest on that to make it even harder for you. That's like you're fucking starving to death, and somehow, some way, you get a sandwich, and then the government comes and takes fucking 90% of it. Oh, wow, you owe us that. You don't need that. You don't need to eat. Give me that. Give me 90%. What? But how come when somebody owes us peasants like money, how come, where's our penalties and interest? I was thinking about this. Okay. I'm in dire straits, and I'm not, oh, by the way, I just have to say this, cause I'm going to talk about money. On my episodes, there's a QR code for Bitcoin. Okay. So if somebody out of the kindness of their heart, or they can, send me some Bitcoin. If not, don't. Okay. It's the best way that I figured to monetize this show. Okay. Besides Spreaker, they play really irritating fucking commercials, and they just inject them where they want to, which has nothing to do with me. But I need to live. Okay. And I never really wanted to get paid to do this. However, as time goes by and situations get more challenging, I think I am going to try to somehow put more value into this for people so they can throw me a bone or a sandwich, and the government's going to take 90% of it. But how come when we're in dire straits, or the government or anybody else, I don't want to pick on them, but anybody else does something to you, your employment, by not giving you a cost of living raise, which is really just basic common sense. I mean, businesses, when things are tough, if this wasn't true, then prices would never go up. Grocery stores can't. I mean, fuck, a dozen eggs used to be $1 or $2, and now they're $4 to $5. They can't not increase that cost onto the customer, or they'll go bankrupt. So why is it different? Just why is it different for you or me when our costs? Just do a balance sheet, personal balance sheet on yourself, or a profit and loss, which most people don't know how to do. Income and expenses. Your income should be more than your expenses. And if you can increase your income, and if you want to get 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 5 jobs, God bless you. I'm not doing it. I have been doing what I've been doing on a professional level for almost 40 fucking years. Okay. So it's analogous to this. I'm a 5-star general, admiral, whatever. I have earned my stripes, so I have been told. Been called an expert, so I have been told. And I've got 40 years of experience, 20 of which is running my own business. Okay. Not to mention a bunch of other crap. This isn't a job interview or whatever. And I'm not trying to impress people. I'm trying to say I have done my time. And to be disrespected or not appreciated or Going to another company and seniority, tenure overrides experience and knowledge and equity of time into your profession, I quite honestly think is unacceptable. Now, do I expect to be number one? No. But I should be a close fucking second. And so should you. You've earned it. I've earned it. But I refuse to tolerate being oppressed. And so should you, for whatever reasons those are. But I am not making it because I was using the profit loss. Y'all should do a profit and loss sheet report on yourself. When your income is less than your expenses, you have to do something. That's called negative cash flow. And when that starts happening, it's only going to get worse. So you either make more money or you cut your expenses. But right now, for the most part, most of our expenses are essentials. A roof over your head, food, medical requirements, a little bit of entertainment, transportation, blah, 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 blah. But when your expenses go up because of inflation, which is totally out of your control, that's a monetary issue from printing too much money, and not having a hard currency backed by gold or silver and a fiat money system, which is soft, which is by decree, and they can just print whatever the fuck they want, and we pay for it in more ways than one. What are you to do? I have talked to other business owners, and when all this stuff started, like, oh yeah, I gave all my employees an 8% COLA raise. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And when you do that, being a former business owner, you raise your prices and pass it on to your customers, which in the end goes back to us peasants. If you really think about it, it's like, well, we're just going to transfer business to business costs to businesses, or cost of doing business to other businesses. And well, what do you think that business is going to do? Well, then they're going to raise their prices. But in the end, us peasants pay for it because it all trickles back down to the customer or consumer. But if you're going to pay for inflation passed on from business to business because it comes back to you, but then you can't get a price wage increase, you're getting it in both orifices. You're getting fucked. And that's a double whammy, and you can't get out of that. It's just really simple, basic economics. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I don't know what they're thinking, but oh, it's transitory and this is like whatever, like blah, blah, blah. No, it's not transitory. The only way inflation is going to stop is if they stop printing money and they get the interest rates above, the Federal Reserve gets the interest rates above the real inflation rate, at or above, it's not going to stop, because we have the mentality that we can print money until kingdom come and it isn't going to matter. And that's not true. So being a employee again for the past, I don't know, when was that? 2018? January of 2018. So what, going on 5 years? I'm at the mercy of what employers want to pay. But delaying, just like the COVID-19 thing, which nobody knew what to do. And now they don't know what to do with inflation because it's transitory. They won't pass out raises. And by the time they do, it's too late. I mean, I am at the point that I'm just entering the negative cash flow zone. And once that starts happening, and I know it's happening for other people, well, my check's $1,000, but every time we go to the fucking store, I'm spending more and more money, although the news says otherwise. Oh, inflation's only up 3%. Yeah, fucking my ass. Their chicken at Walmart used to be $1.99. The breast, the fillets, $1.99. It's almost $4. So I don't know what kind of fuzzy fucking math you're using, but that's almost 100%. And I don't even want to get into the other stuff. On and on and on and on. And you can say whatever you want, but in the real world, in simple mathematics, this shit is unaffordable. I'm talking about chicken here, man. I'm not talking about a porterhouse steak or a ribeye or a filet or fucking whatever. I'm talking about chicken. And well, maybe you eat too well. Well, what do you want me to eat? A can of soup and some fucking ramen noodles? As the king and everybody else feasts on whatever they want? No, not happening. No, as far as I know, we're still a republic, and it's the power of the people. And enough is enough. And I can express my grievances because it's my First Amendment. And it's yours too. And I don't even want to get into that now, because when you get the corporations into it, oh, well, you're not meeting our policies and procedures. I could really give my community standards. I could give two flying fucks about your community standards. You're violating my rights, period. I don't remember seeing that in the Constitution. Oh, you have all these rights and all this kind of crap, except if you're on YouTube or Facebook or fucking whatever. No, that's not what it says. And now you got this ESG score coming in, which I just saw a news blurb on Drudge that I think it was on Drudge or Google News, one of the two, because it pops up on my phone. Yeah, that the Federal Reserve is going to wiggle the ESG score in, which comes from China. Yeah, we all want to be like China. So I don't remember back. Well, I can't remember because I wasn't born, but I don't remember reading in the history books that we wanted to emulate Hitler and communistic fucking countries that suppress their citizens and people using some type of controls. Do you? I don't remember that. But no, that's what we're doing. So, I don't know. The whole thing is that I'll be damned if I'm going to let people oppress me, because I know my industry. I know the numbers. And I will give you a good, honest day's hard work for a good pay raise or pay scale, whatever market dictates. But the people that are not putting in a COLA raise, I mean, fuck, the government even does that with the armed forces. Give me a fucking break. I don't know if they've gotten anything equivalent to what the real inflation rate is, but I do know they do that. And union contracts is in there. for the most part, COLA raise. But it just depends on what that rate is and where they're getting it from. Because like I said, they don't have any problem passing costs on to you, but when it's time for you to make more money to keep up with that, oh no, you got inflation's only 3%. Tell Walmart that with the chicken. Really? So it's forced me to resign. And I'm not making more money. See, here's the thing. The pay structure is different where I'm at now, and I don't get paid a quote unquote bonus for 90 days. Well, I need that money now, not 90 days, because 90 days can get me thrown out of my fucking apartment if I don't pay my rent, or lose my car, or not eat like I should eat. And believe me, it's not luxurious. I can't wait 90 days for my money, and other people won't wait 90 days for me to give them their money. I need my money now. So it throws me into a negative cash flow. So bonus structures, due to the economic environment and inflationary pressures, are not going to work. Trust me on that one. All right, so that's enough of me bitching about that, but that's what's going on with me. Oh, and then I'm moving into a less expensive monthly rent apartment, a little over 500 square feet compared to this place, which is probably 7 to 8. So I'm making sacrifices so I can do within my power to do what I got to do. But I'm going to tell you something. The amount of homeless people around here has gone through the roof. And there's a reason for that. And people don't understand what's happening to them. I do. But you're not taught this stuff. It's your fucking problem. Oh, well, go get a second job. No. It is the responsibility of the employer, in my opinion. And if I was still an employer, I definitely would have passed out COLA raises, probably in the vicinity of 8 to 10% on top of their wage. Minimum. Because people are going to leave your place of employment not because for any other reason that they can't pay their bills. So I hope that puts a little bit of understanding and light into it, because it's not going to change until you make more money, or they reduce the inflation rate, and they're not going to do that. They can't jack up rates to 18% or 20 or 50 or 100 or whatever specifically what you're talking about. But the CPI is whatever the CPI is, in my opinion, you can double it. That's just what I'm going to tell you. And they can't raise rates like that. They waited too long. The Federal Reserve waited too long. And I think they even admitted that. I'm like, whoa. So anyway, that's that. I don't really know. I don't do this too often. And I used to go through news stories that were unusual, and Drudge Report used to have them. I don't know what's going on with Drudge Report. But that's what I use for a couple reasons. So I'll just read a couple, and if one gets me, I'll do it. If not, whatever. Japan orders citizens to take shelter underground after North Korea launch. It's really nothing new. That crazy little fucker playing with missiles. So I'm not really gonna get into that. It's war drums. USA, South Korea conduct precision bombing drill. Oh, maybe that's what pissed them off. Court approval sinks to historic lows. Keeps marching right. What does that mean? Right? Like Republican, right wing? I don't know. Cases to watch. Biden says it will run for re-election. Social media liability draws Supreme Court scrutiny. Judges coming after online speech. Uh-oh. Yeah, see. There we go. Okay. Planned Parenthood plans mobile abortion clinic. Oh, so we just got human sacrifices on wheels now. So there you go. Hurricane destroys swaths of Florida as residents face uncertain aftermath. Okay. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Keep an eye on, there's 2 tropical storms off the coast of Africa right now. If you're in Florida, I would keep an eye on them if I were you. That's all I'm going to say. We are tired, dirty, and hungry. Yeah, no shit. I mean, some of those pictures from Florida are just like, I don't even know. I can't even put total devastation. And I feel so bad for them. I really do. I mean, it's horrible. Fort Myers Beach uninhabitable for months. 98-year-old describes riding it out. Migrants lured for storm cleanup. Okay. How about y'all just pitch in and pick up all the shit? That's what I would do. Israel installs AI-powered gun at West Point checkpoint. That's nice till it kills the wrong people. California suffering through driest 3 years ever recorded. It's called climate change for a reason. It's been doing it since the beginning of time. But whatever. Bird flu spreads. That's great. More Mad Max style festival. Revealers strip off fight to the death. Really? 2,000-year-old Hercules statue discovered in Greece. 60% of Americans now living paycheck to paycheck. UN calls on Fed to halt rate rises. You know what? I might, because I was just talking about this crap, I might read that one. Although I've beaten it with a dead horse, but people need to hear it. And I got to take a break for like a minute. I'll be right back. All right. Too much coffee. All right. I'm going to, just sitting there, not sitting there, actually standing peeing, but I'm like, what I'm going to read, I don't even know. It's off of drudgereport.com, and then usually it's a link to, so it's CNBC. Because I'm thinking, well, I guess people need to hear an official, whatever that means, source. So here you go. I'm going to get into this a little bit. Off of CNBC.com, unrelenting inflation is taking a toll, leaving more Americans living paycheck to paycheck. See, now that's the negative cash flow I'm telling you about. because you're not getting a fucking raise. Okay. Here we go. Almost everyone has felt the sting of rising prices. That's not true. It's not true. Business owners, people that have a lot of money, the elite, the government, they're not feeling none of this shit. Actually, the government likes inflation because they inflate their way out of their debt, whatever. As of August, 60% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. August, it's fucking October. Or 60% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck, according to a recent Lending Club report, whatever that is, a number that hasn't budged since inflation hit a 40-year high. I was just a kid. I remember that, though. My parents were bitching. Oh, my God. And then when President Reagan got elected, like, oh, my God, thank you, Lord. Whatever. A year ago, the number of adults who felt stretched too thin was closer to 55%. I'm going to tell you something. It's more than that. It's not. I don't care what this says. It's not 66%. It's a lot more than that. Even, here we go. Even high income earners are feeling the strain, the report found. Of those earning more than six figures, which I've earned, 45% reported living paycheck to paycheck, a jump from the previous year's 38%. More consumers living paycheck to paycheck indicates that many are continuing to lose their financial stability, said Lending Club's financial health officer. Financial health. Inflation is a persistent problem. You think? The Consumer Price Index, here we go, CPI, which measures the average change in prices for consumer goods and services. Here you go. You ready? Rose a higher than expected 8.3% in August. Just August. Okay. And I don't believe that number anyway, but 8.3% in August, 1 month. Okay. So let's do fuzzy math here based on this from U46. Basic multiplication. Just give them the benefit of the doubt. 8. Let's round it down to 8. 8%. 8 times 12 is what? 96. 96% inflation rate annually. If this continues. So go to your boss and go, I need an 8.3%. This is just to maintain your standard of living. I need an 8% raise every month, or whatever the CPI is, but this is what it's going to be, 8%. So, or I need a 96% raise increase for a year. Because you don't get raises every month. You get them every year. So you need to double your income just to stay where you're at. Okay? Okay. Driven by increases in food, shelter, and medical costs. Okay. No, you don't need those. They're being ridiculous. Although real average hourly earnings also rose, a seasonable adjustment of 0.2%. For the excuse me. 0.2% compared to the 8.3. What are you bitching about? They remain down 2.8% from a year ago, which means those paychecks don't stretch as far as they used to. No shit. A separate report by Bank of America found that bank. Okay, here we go. Yeah. The bank's going to fix everything. A separate report by Bank of America found that 71% of workers feel that their pay isn't keeping up with the cost of living, bringing the number of people who feel financially secure to a 5-year low. Many Americans are dipping into, this is not just America, guys. Okay. Many Americans are dipping into their cash reserves, yeah, or charging shit on their credit card, and nearly half are falling deeper into debt. Yep, that's what's going to happen. And that's what's happening with me right now. And I refuse to let that happen because I've been down that road. And it doesn't end well. It goes off a cliff. You cannot continue to do that. Those struggling to afford their day-to-day lifestyle tend to rely more on credit cards. There you go, see, and carry a highly monthly balance, making them financially vulnerable. No shit. It's no secret that prices have been increasing for everyday Americans, not only in the goods and services they purchase, but also in the interest rates they're paying to fund their lives, he said. This can have detrimental consequences for someone who pays the minimum amount on their credit cards every month. Wow, how profound. For its part, the Federal Reserve hiked its target federal rate funds by 0.75 percentage points for the third time in a row to calm runaway inflation, which is probably going to destroy. I'm being very careful with my words here. Probably going to destroy the housing market. You just put the ratios in people that could purchase a home because of lower interest rates out of those ratios. So get ready for the housing industry to be affected by this negatively. The central bank has indicated even more increases are coming until inflation shows clear signs of a pullback. Okay, 0.75% basis points is very aggressive. Very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. And in a row. So I think do your homework that interest rates have doubled already. But they should have done this progressively at a much slower rate when all this shit was going on and they didn't listen, or they didn't want to do it for reasons of their own. I don't know. They're the Federal Reserve. They can do what they want and they don't answer to anybody. So there you go right there. That's from CNBC. And then I'm going to read this one right after that because this will be interesting and I have things to say about this. UN calls on other central banks to halt interest rate increases. See, you can't do that. You can't halt interest rate increases any more than you can't stop from lowering them to turbocharge the economy. Because when interest rates are lower, then that spurs growth because borrowing money costs less. So they use it for capital or buying back their own stocks or whatever the fuck they do with it. So you can't, because somebody's playing, especially in my opinion, a group of people that are unconstitutional as far as I understand it, telling banks what to do. You can't do that. If you halt interest rates, inflation is going to continue to go through the roof. So this is off of the Wall Street Journal. Yes, okay. The UN agency, which, like I said, as I understand it, and Scarlett and I are going to have Christine, somebody, a constitutional expert on this. And this is one of the first questions I'm going to ask her. Is the UN unconstitutional? We are a sovereign country. We don't need a group of fucking people telling us what to do. Sorry, you can go to hell. A UN agency warns that further policy tightening risks a global economic downturn. And the only reason why that we're in the situation that we're in is because you and I trust our elected servants. But when they fuck things up so bad and they won't be honest with us as to why they're fucked up, and they mislead you, or you're just trusting them to do their job because you have a fucking life to live, like feeding your kids and inflation, and you can't do that. When they fuck things up so bad, then they create another organization or supposedly another branch of our government, which is unconstitutional. We have 4 if you include the press, but that's not really in the Constitution. You have 3 branches of government. That's enough. We don't need these people that fucked everything up to create another branch of government and then have all these assholes tell us what to do in the guise of peace or for the betterment of the entire planet. Because if you can't fix your own country, how can you fix the planet? This is a bunch of crap. This is bullshit. That's what I'm going to tell you. Fucking, oh my God. A UN agency. What do you mean? Who's that? A UN agency. See, here we go. Now you got subcategories of or agencies of the UN. What's that? Oh. This shouldn't even be an issue, in my opinion. A UN agency warns that further policy tightening risks a global economic downturn. Okay. Oh, really? We need a fourth branch of government to tell us that? We know that. The federal do your job, elected servants. I think we need to give Ukraine another $12 billion as Florida's devastated. You know, you really need, you're my neighbor. You really need to clean your house and your yard up because it's a shithole. And I'm going to go back to my house, which is even a bigger shithole, but mind your own business. The Federal Reserve and other central banks risk pushing the global economy into recession. Oh, God. Followed by prolonged stagnation if they keep rising interest rates, a United Nations agency said. They keep saying that. Who's the agency? The warning comes amid growing unease about the haste with which the Fed and its counterparts are raising borrowing costs to contain surging inflation. India's central bank Friday said that the global economy was facing a third major shock after the COVID-19 pandemic. Which, that's another thing too I wanted to bitch about. I had $9,000 in my checking account before I moved to Florida. By the time I dumped $1,000 into the U-Haul just for gas, renting it, putting down my down payment and making first month's rent, it damn near took it all. So once again, I don't have a fucking pot to piss in. And people can say, well, you shouldn't have moved. Okay, well, you know what? Quit bitching about the hurricane. You shouldn't live in Florida. Okay? That type of thinking is not going to work. I will be accountable for my actions. But the reason I moved to Florida was because of COVID. So can I send all of my cost of relocating and moving from Colorado to Florida and then Florida back to Colorado? Can I give the government all those bills because they didn't handle COVID-19 correctly? No. Okay, and they're cutting off the story because they want me to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, which I'm not paying to read fucking horseshit that I already know. What this should say right off the bat in the headline, UN calls on Fed, which the Fed's the Fed. They're going to do whatever they want and just because they can. Other central banks to halt interest rates. A UN agency, which should say, which may be unconstitutional. They don't say that, though. Whatever. I mean, this stuff just fucking pisses me off. Wow, just so many negative things, man. These stories, as I'm saying, I mean, the world is literally going to hell, and I really hate saying that, but that's what I see. I cannot deny it. What happens if Lake Powell runs out of water? All the fishes die, I guess. Dead bodies come up from the mob not paying their bills. There's no water to power electricity because of Hoover Dam. People are gonna get thirsty. The fuck you think's gonna happen? Whatever. Strategist says coming recession. Yeah, it's gonna be a depression. Could be biggest ever. Really? Let's see here. Yeah, and then now it gets into politics, which I'm not going to do. Russian army on the precipice of collapse. I will say this. I've done a little bit more homework on this. I've warned from the beginning, don't fuck with Putin. Allegedly, Russia's constitution says they have the right to inflict equal damage that has been done to their country onto the ones that caused the damage to them. And it is the sole responsibility of the person in power to carry that out. Now, it might not be exactly what I just said, but it's pretty much this. If you punch Putin in the face, he's going to punch you back. I warned about this, and it's not about me. You don't fuck with this guy. And now I'm seeing things about nuclear subs disappearing and some nuclear train. Allegedly some train carrying nukes is headed for Ukraine. You do not fuck with this guy, man. Petraeus predicts USA would sink naval fleet if nukes used. Okay. Wow. What a strategic comment. Pentagon deploys world's most expensive ship carrying 9,000 NATO troops. This one caught my eye. Here's another organization that should be or could be unconstitutional. NATO. Oh, but it's about preserving peace and love and tranquility. And you're just an asshole if you don't believe that. Yes, this is the Queen. I'm talking from the grave. It is just wonderful here. Oh, my God. I'm not in pain anymore. I'm having tea and crumpets. And I'm just watching you people fuck up the planet because you will not let us rule everything. Yeah, and everything is just so good and wonderful right now on the precipice of World War III. This is from the Daily Star. I don't even fucking know what that is, but that's where it's from. U.S. deploys world's most expensive military ship. Yeah. Oh, gee. And we wonder why we have inflation. We need the biggest, most expensive aircraft carrier ever seen in the history of man. So you need to print some more of that fucking money so we can build this thing to carry potentially unconstitutional troops to I don't know, wherever. Let's find out. The U.S. Navy is set to launch the world's most advanced aircraft carrier into the Atlantic Ocean today. But forget about Florida, inflation, and fuck all you guys. We need this aircraft carrier. It will house 9,000 troops, NATO troops, actually, from 9 countries, as well as 20 ships and 60 aircraft. Now, don't get me wrong. This is why we won the Cold War with Russia. We just kept building up our nuclear arsenal and everything else, which destroyed the USSR. It bankrupted them. Make no mistake, I definitely am a big supporter of having a strong military, but not this way. For U.S. troops in our country, absolutely. Absolutely. Where's the rest of the story? Today, quit popping up. God damn it. Sorry. Today, the U.S. is deploying one of the most advanced aircraft carriers to the Atlantic. Well, good. So when you launch that fucker, why don't you just go down to the Florida Keys in Florida and see if you can help these people, which they may. I mean, that might be part of the plan. I don't know what they're going to do, though. Timing is interesting. I'm not going to elaborate on this. Today, the U.S. is deploying one of the most advanced aircraft carriers to the Atlantic, complete with nuclear reactors and jet fighters, fighter jets, whatever. The USS Gerald R. Ford, he wasn't really the best president. He was okay. He replaced Carter as a kid. Didn't do anything stellar, but whatever. Is sailing from Virginia, USA, to the Atlantic Ocean carrying a NATO strike group. It's unclear, of course it is, it's unclear whether the launch is linked to the conflict in Ukraine. No, I highly doubt that. I mean, no, it's just coincidence. But as the carrier costs the U.S. more than $13 billion with a B, $13 billion. So $13 billion for a fucking boat, and $12 billion, $13 billion to Ukraine. Let's see, that's 13 plus 13, $26 billion. Why Florida is devastated. Whatever. You know, we got our priorities. We need a ship full of shit, scare the fuck out of people, intimidate them. And yeah, Ukraine needs all that money. Why, I don't know, but they do. Not Florida. The country's Navy is obviously keen to show it off. Yeah, okay. Here's my big penis. It's bigger and shinier than yours. Wouldn't you like to touch it? Mm-hmm. And you paid for it. And fuck your house and your boat and food and clothing and shelter in Florida. You're on your own. Look at my penis. Isn't it nice? The ship is powered by 2 nuclear reactors and can carry more than 70 aircraft, including deadly helicopters and jets. That's what we need. The Atlantic deployment is due to carry 9,000 personnel from 9 NATO countries. Now, remember, mind you, do your homework. This is what pissed off Putin. Okay? They're launching this fucking goddamn ship with the fucking. I told them not to fuck with me, and it is my responsibility to destroy and pay back countries that have destroyed Russia, and that's what I'm going to do. And now they're fucking launching this ship from NATO. Hey, that's kind of a Mexican. This wasn't. I don't even know if that is Russian, but whatever. The advancement of NATO towards Russia for the past 30 years, give or take, is what has pissed off Putin. And when they finally got to Ukraine, he said, enough is enough. Now, I'm not defending him, okay? But do your homework, for God's sake. Before, that guy's ex-KGB and he's an asshole. He just wants to kill people. I was like, he's trying to protect. He's doing his job, actually, which most politicians here do not. Protecting his country and borders and sovereignty, and actually following his constitution, the way I understand it. But do your own homework. The Atlantic deployment is due to carry 9,000 personnel from 9 NATO countries, including the U.S., Canada, Finland, Denmark, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden. Vice Admiral Dan Dwyer, commander of the U.S. Second Fleet, said the Atlantic is an area of strategic interest. Okay. Our primary goal is to contribute to a peaceful, the most powerful aircraft carrier known to man. Our primary goal is to contribute to a peaceful, stable, and conflict-free Atlantic region through the combined naval power of allies and partners. Okay, so yeah, we're going to keep peace, but how come you, as an American citizen, law-abiding citizen, you're carrying a firearm? You're an asshole. Oh, well, you're going to kill people with that firearm. No, I'm going to protect me and my family with it, asshole. But how come we can launch the most powerful aircraft carrier in the name of peace? The deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford's Carrier Strike Group is the natural progression of our renewed commitment to the Atlantic. UK personnel won't be around this ship this time. Excuse me. UK personnel won't be aboard the ship this time. In August this year, the UK's brand new $3 billion or €3 billion aircraft carrier, HMS Prince of Wales, broke down almost immediately after beginning a voyage to the U.S. Oh my God. I wonder if it was made in Mexico. No, China, actually. The ship had enjoyed a send-off by the Sugar Babes. What is that? Suga Babes. What is that? And was supposed to sail to America to do some military exercises with the U.S. and Canadian navies. The 65,000-ton warship instead suffered a mechanical issue and broke down. Hey, did you check the oil before we left port? No, I thought you were going to. Making it a little less impressive than the U.S. Navy's terrifying new machine. There you go. Terrifying new machine. Terrifying new machine. All in the name of peace. All right, so whatever. That's the end of the article. Fucking ridiculous. No, we can't feed people and go to Florida or even Cuba. I mean, that's not our country, but hey, it's a global fucking economy now, and we're supposed to pass love to everybody, even Castro. And the people of Cuba, Puerto Rico. Oh no, we got to build this fucking ship that can destroy the planet in the name of peace with NATO troops. That pisses off Putin, but you know what? Fuck him. What else? Way too many political stories are. Rumors of Lehman-like collapse floated on Credit Suisse concerns. Yeah, their profits are down like 60% or something, or stock price. I don't know. I don't really care. It's going to happen. And then they'll get bailed out, which they won't get bailed out, and they'll get bailed in. So you better keep an eye on your checking account, your savings account, and your retirement account. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Home prices now posting biggest monthly drop since 2009. Okay. Oh, well, we have our house, so we'll be fine. We have all this equity and we'll fall back on that. Yada, yada, yada. It's the biggest fucking lie on the planet. Trust me. I bought a house for $3,000. I wish $300,000 is a second home in Vegas in 2008, which woke me up. And that house went down at one time to $99,000. So don't be a stupid fucker like me, but you can do what you want. And that's pretty much it on Drudge. And I think that's about enough anyway. It's 6:00. So, yeah. That is the real world according to Drudge. And that is my rants and opinions on things. And you can decide what you want to do. I've made predictions. I've done this. I've done that. All I can tell you is just do your homework. Do your homework. Educate yourself. Everything that you've been indoctrinated with, just take it out of your head and start over. and essentially fall back on common sense logic in the Constitution and humanitarian, doing what's right, helping people in need. Well, Florida just got devastated and whatever. Oh, well, we need to launch our aircraft carrier in the name of peace that can blow the living shit out of anything that has NATO troops on it, including to piss off Putin. Yeah, that's going to turn out really well. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not even going to say it. Put it this way. Keep an eye on this aircraft carrier. I'm not even going to say it. Keep an eye on this aircraft carrier. And I will pray for the troops on board, even though, in my opinion, they're unconstitutional, but they are human lives, and I will pray for them. Keep an eye on this aircraft carrier for many reasons. That's the focal point. But it's like, oh, well, let's get the Dom Perignon and let's christen this motherfucker and let's get it in the ocean in the name of peace with 9,000 troops and all this other shit. And we're just going to go for a little cruise like it's the Love Boat. And we're just going to go the Atlantic because it's strategic and, whatever. Just keep an eye on it. And don't worry about the NATO troops. It's really pissing off Putin. Again, I'm elaborating. And we'll just wave to the people at Florida while we cruise right around the East Coast going south to go around there so we can start just coincidentally heading for Russia. But who cares? And just wave to all the people there that are stranded and starving to death and they've lost every fucking pride possession they have. But look at our shiny new boat that you paid for. All right. That's enough of this shit. I'm going to check the chat room. So everybody, actually, nobody's saying jack shit in StreamYard. That's okay. Let's see what else. Who's saying anything in Podbean? Anybody? Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. So much for just Wiener Tuesday, right? Holy shit. Woody Bush, what's going on? I believe it was making women crazy. What was? That's not hard to do, actually. In my experience. FPL convict _convict. How are you? Rhonda Christensen. Yep. So it can go to green energy. Don't even go there with me. I'm in the heating and I'm not being a dick. It's not directed at you. Excuse me. Apologize. No. Yeah. Right. Rhonda, you're right. I am in the heating and air conditioning and refrigeration business, and the green policies are fucking up my industry like you would not believe. Quite actually, I will share a story right now since I've resigned. So this customer needed a motor. So if you ever see in the movies and walk-ins, walk-in coolers, walk-in freezers, there's a thing called an evaporator in there. It's got two little fans in it. Okay. 12 inches in diameter. 15th horsepower motor. Okay. No big deal. A PSC motor, a permanent split capacitor, shaded pole motor. To replace that motor, I don't know, maybe $100, maybe $150 each. Okay. Now the latest, and I'm telling you, I am telling you, and you're not going to hear this anywhere else. And by the time you do hear it, you're going to have some repair guy at your fucking house and is going to tell you that a motor is going to cost you $2,500. All this green shit's going to do. You're going to save $10 a year on your electric bill. God forbid you need to fix the fucking thing. Okay. Now listen to this. So this customer needed 2 ECM motors. Okay. They're the magic energy efficient fucking motors that's going to save the planet. Okay. It's going to bankrupt you, but it's going to save the planet. Those motors, each 2 of them, $5,000. I am not kidding you. $5,000. I refused to do it. So I did my homework and I found some replacement motors, because these were OEM motors, proprietary. Kind of like if your Ford or Chevy brakes, you go to the dealer and you buy those parts instead of going to AutoZone or whatever to get the same fucking thing for a lot less money. It's like that. So I did my homework because I just cannot justify charging a customer that type of money. And I found a replacement motor that cost them $300 a piece, which I still think is fucking ridiculous, but it's a lot better than $5,000. So you mark my words, you people in Boulder and everybody else, and oh, this is green energy, and geez, I'm just saving the fucking planet, and I drive my electric car and all this crap. Good for you. Wait till you get the repair bill. I'm telling you. It's going to happen. The only thing about the term green is that's what it's going to fucking cost you to fix your shit. Trust me on this. You're going to have to take out a loan to fix your goddamn furnace or your air conditioner or any of your equipment. Trust me on this. It is going to fucking bankrupt you and businesses, all in the name of saving $10 a year on your electric bill. Okay. But go get a Tesla car that draws 47 amps and sucks power off the grid and is going to triple your goddamn electric bill. But don't worry, you're saving the planet. But you're going to be living in the streets. I wonder how many people in Florida are going to get rid of their electric car now because they got stranded sitting on 95 or 4 or 75 to get the fuck out of there. I don't really think you give a flying fuck about saving the planet now, right? Because you got to save your ass. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm not bitching. I'm not going to elaborate on this anymore. Just mark my words. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I got in trouble for that because the motor that I ordered was special order. And now we're stuck with it because I decided to save the customer money. Okay. That's just me though. Whatever. Greetings there. Hello. How are you? It's like things you really want to hear, don't you? I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the way that it is because I'm in it. This isn't, I read a book or a news story or whatever. I am in this. I'm the asshole that shows up at your door and tells you it's going to cost you $5,000 to fix your freaking whatever dishwasher. Okay. Where's the Spreaker at? Okay. And of course, nobody is in here, but I did the, statistic reports of people listening, and Spreaker is actually the ratings are way better than Podbean, but I don't do the show for the ratings. I don't really give a shit, but I do look at them. TSL fly, TISFly, like the show, whatever that means. All right, so it's what, 6 o'clock. It's still early for me. Yeah, my head's really spinning right now because I just don't like people being lied to and misled, and people have nothing but good intentions. It's the whole trust thing again. You know, it's you're trusting what you're being told with people that have power, and you're being fucking lied to. And you're going to pay for it. Well, it's going to cost $5,000 to fix the air conditioner, or we do that, or we don't eat. Literally. Or we need to throw it on a credit card because you need heat or air conditioning, whatever. What did I say? Air conditioning or the heat? You know, it's going to cost $5,000 because we're saving the planet, saving $10 a year on our electric bill. Make sure the Tesla car is plugged in, by the way. And yeah, so it's going to be $5,000 to fix the heat to save $10 a year and we can't buy groceries. So pull the credit card out. Which groceries probably just went up another 9% a month. Do you see how this is just exponentially, holistically fucking you? Sorry. I can't put it in nice terms. All because you're trusting and you're doing what you're told to do. I am in the industry that one of them that sucks a lot of power. So your ass stays warm or cool in the summer. And in my industry, they targeted it, and the government will not even let manufacturers release their product unless it meets the energy requirements to be green. And we're all going to be Kermit the fucking Frog. Kermit the Frog. Here. I'm not kidding you. This whole horseshit with this motor for this customer literally pushed me out the door. I had to leave anyway because I'm not making it monetarily. It was about the money or their lack of. But this motor crap, no offense to anybody, I'm not a car salesman. I'm not going to try to sell somebody something that, number one, they don't need, but in this case they did need, and get the highest price I can for it. That's not me. I have some business ethics. If I can save a customer money, I will. But business ethics and doing the right thing and looking out for the customer doesn't seem to be too popular right now. You're on your own. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. I promise you that. You're going to have to learn the hard way, like me. After you get fucked. What's going on here? 2008 meltdown. How come it costs $5,000 to fix furnace? What am I really saving? Going green. How much is that Tesla car really costing me? That's up to you. But I am concerned on a humanitarian level when I see people getting fucked and they can't even pay their bills. And now, because you're doing the right thing to save the planet and global warming and all this other horse shit and climate change, why don't we start working on diaper change? You know, that's a horrible thing, man. You know, I don't know if you ever change a baby's diaper, but, you know, there's shit and piss and green. How come babies' poop is green? We got to change that. That's just unacceptable. And it's filling up the landfills. We have to stop diaper changing. And you're going to pay for that. What? Climate change is climate change. The only way we're going to change the climate by what we do is blowing up the fucking planet. And that's getting really close. But you're all too worried about what you're being told, about what kind of car you drive, not driving a car, what kind of shit you buy, what you don't buy, what you do and what you don't do. And you just feel so great about yourself because you bought a green piece of shit that's going to fucking cost you $1 million. Why? You're pissing off Putin launching an aircraft carrier that has NATO troops on it, and it's his job to defend his country and retaliate with the damage that's done to his country at time of war, and he's going to because it's his duty. Oh yeah, but did you buy a Tesla car? Do you get it? Or is it just me? Am I just really that far out in the fringe, lunatic fringe, probably? And like, saying this stuff? I don't think so, but maybe I am. But when Putin launches that first nuclear weapon at whomever, I don't think you're going to give two flying shits about your green crap or climate change for that matter. So be very careful and pay attention to stuff that matters to protect you and your family, because that's what matters the most. All right. So I'm done. I'm starting to preach and I'm just getting pissed. So I'm going to go. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the show. Share the show. And just do your own homework, man. That's all I'm going to tell you. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show, comrade. And yes, we have new aircraft carrier, and it's just for peace.